Okay. Good evening, daughters. And it's Friday again. Today is really a good Friday. Today we have a automaca. Okay, sorry. It's really a good Friday. Today we have a auto. Okay. Yeah, let me close. Okay. We we give before the webinar, Packden will be present their 3D printing region. We thank the Packden for the past few years support our NDPO. Yeah, they are really our supporter. And Kevin will have a 5 minutes presentation the 3D printing material. And also after that, Automeca will give the webinar. That is a very exciting topic, AI-powered dentistry and surgical guide and the intraoral scanner. Okay, right now we give the time to the Kevin.
Thanks, Dr. Don. How are you? Hi, everybody. Have you a good Friday again. Hope everybody's going to have a good Easter. I'll continue a little bit from where we left off last weekend if some of you were here. Again, my name is Kevin. I'm with Pacdent. We make a line of resin for printers called the Rodent line. Just a little bit about Pacdent. We're in Brea, California, so we service the entire North America very well. We manufacture here everything from R&D to all of the chemistry, the manufacturing of all the rodent chemicals are done in California. So just so you guys are aware. So last week we went over briefly the rodent sculpture 2.0, the Titan, and the sculpture 1, the original sculpture. And since we'll be going over some of the surgical guide with today, I thought we mentioned the two other materials, which is the rodent surgical guide and then the Titan, how these two might correlate. And I went into the Trian a little bit here. So first thing, again, our resin is an open system, which as you can see is compatible with a lot of your printers out in the market, but not just the printers here. We are working on backwards compatibility with SprintRay. So our Titan is backwards compatible, and I can put a link in the chat here to the instructions for that. So we're really excited about that. For those of you who are on SprintRay, we were able to help you guys as well. So going in a little bit of the surgical guide here, I have one of our printed models here. This is a model resin. This is a surgical guide, as you can see. Flexural strength-wise is very rigid, very tough, right? But it still has a flexural modulus of about 2,000, so it won't break under hard pressure. Okay, so strong is translucent, it's not brittle. A bottle of 1 kilogram here will give you about 40 full arches. Something you notice about the arch, we have a number 1 position and a 7 and 8. Typically, if I'm going to send this to a lab, I typically want to isolate just the number 1 position, as if a longer arch might get distorted with the position of the angles, right? So if I want to split this case up, if I want to do this case, I would split this file typically with 1 guide in the number 2 position, and then the 7-8 being a separate guide to have the accuracy. But as you can see, our surgical guide material, you can print the full arch without any distortions in the angle. So we were able to print this guide, rescan and digitize this and compare it to the original STL, and we find less than 30 microns of tolerance. So that's what we feel as acceptable and confident that you guys won't have any issues with accuracy. A 1 kilogram bottle here, it's like $249 MSRP, and you can easily print these at under $5 a piece. So there's some materials properties there of this actual guide that I'm holding. I wanted to bring this up. Our denture try-in material, Dr. J has print this interesting case out here of a dentureless case where he wanted the reference of a VDO midline, and you can see here he used our denture-based try-in with the anchor pins here, and then still able to do all on 6, all on 7, I think, all on 7 or yeah, maybe all on 6. I didn't actually see this case, but he sent these pictures to me. And again, even the try-in material in a Roland line is very strong, and you're able to have a anchored surgical guide on the dentulous ridge here. Going into a little bit of the restorative aspects, we went into the tighten a little bit. This is our full arch long span restoration material. We made this formulation specifically for denture teeth, okay, and PMMA equivalents. We can print a monolithic denture as well. Again, you have the flexural strength to have a little bit of flexibility when we are talking about strong occlusal forces, but still be able to have the strong strength for durability and long-term wear. We have people wearing these for going on a year now, long-term provisionals, before they go back in to get their final zirconia mill. 1.2 kilogram is MSRP for $9.99. And as you can see, we still print up to 40, 30, 40 arches, giving you the really equivalency here. As you can see, cost of economics of scale here, very, very attractive here. Full arch PMMA, you're talking about under $200 to the materials cost. A long span bridge, a 3-unit bridge here, under $10. And then a digital premium denture costing you under $40. It's very opaque, especially for long span restorations like this, showing up on x-ray very clearly. And as you can see, when tightened compared to some of the other competitor materials in the market, we're the strongest in flexural toughness, yet the lowest in this flexural module. So it's still very tough, yet very flexible. And again, using that with a denture base 2.0, we're able to print some of these very nice candy-coated premium dentures. And again, these are some of the cases that we would like to highlight all the time. Your single centrals that have a high aesthetics, anything for Titan for the full arch restoratives, your roundhouse bridge here, some of your all-on-X arches can all be printed with the Titan. And if there's any questions, just put it in the chat. Be here throughout the seminar. I'm looking for the talk tonight. I heard lots of good things about the guiding service. So please let us know how we can be of service. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Yeah. So, and next, Dr. Yasser will be give the webinar. Let me introduce Dr. Yasser. Actually, I know the Atomica is from the Pacdent CEO, Daniel Wang. He introduced that's a very good company. So, I used to use the Blue Sky Bio for my surgical guide for a long time. Then I called the Atomica. Then Dr. Yasser gave me the demo. That's wonderful. Right now, I use the Atomica to my surgical guide. Very good, very good. And so I don't want to say too much. Maybe I just give to the Dr. Yasser. You can introduce your company and today's your webinar.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Zhang, for having us and giving us this opportunity to share our expertise. Of course, I want to thank Dr. Kevin for this informative presentation. So I want to say hello and welcome everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to be your host in this webinar today. My name is Omar Yasser, and I'm very excited to walk you through our products and show you how they ensure a seamless digital workflow. So throughout the coming hour, following our agenda, I'd like to start by introducing the presenters of this webinar, whom will take you on a tour demonstrating the digital workflow offered by Atomica. And after that, we will share a sneak peek of our game changer module, specially made for NDPO, which will be mentioned in the midst of our webinar. Not to mention that you need to stay tuned till the end of the webinar for a very special offer. And finally, let us know if you have any question. So before we get started, let's share a brief about our presenters for today. So our speakers for today will be Dr. Adil, who is a prosthodontics specialist with a passion for digital dentistry and over 5 years of experience in digital dental field. His area of expertise in intraoral scanning, and his goal is to elevate the digital game in practices all over the world. And I'm thrilled to have him with us today.
Thank you, Dr. Yasser, for the lovely intro. And of course, thank you, Dr. Zhang, for all your efforts. Very excited to be here today.
Likewise. And I'd love to introduce myself. I am Dr. Omar Yasser, and I'm thrilled to be your guide in this exciting webinar with my background in digital dentistry and guided surgery with Atomica. And I've been on a mission to transform the dental field through innovation. And I'm all about pushing the boundaries to enhance patient outcomes and provide exceptional guidance. And thank you for joining us today. So let's share a quick brief about Atomica. Briefly, Atomica is a startup based in Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and launched early in 2022 to build innovative solutions and products in digital dentistry all over the world. And our aim is to aid dentists and dental professionals provide unprecedented patient care through a set of solutions like our Atomica AI software suite that includes implant planning, guide design, and segmentation modules. And we're adding more AI modules and applications on a monthly basis that will serve different specialties and indications in digital dentistry. We also have our Atomica S200, which is fast, reliable, accurate, and cost-effective. It also has AI scanning and digital imaging features that makes the digital workflow even more seamless using the Atomica AI software. So let's go a little bit more in depth, starting with the S200 intraoral scanner, demonstrating its features by our expert, Dr. Adil. Dr. Adil, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Yes. So this is our S200. Let me walk you through some of our special features. We're going to start with a bit about our hardware. Our scanner is very light. It only weighs 105 grams, which allows for excellent ergonomics. A feature favorite of mine is it's calibration free. Usually scanners come with a calibration tool, and this just lets you add a lot of more steps to your workflow, so we don't need to do that at all. Another thing I like is our detachable cable. Usually scanners come with a cable that is attached to them. But our cable is detachable. In case anything goes wrong, you can just go ahead and replace that. And of course, it comes with 4 tips, which are autoclavable, 3 regular sized ones, and 1 small one for those difficult to reach areas. Next up, I'm going to walk you through some of our software features. We'll start with the lock area. It allows you to lock areas that are perfectly scanned so that they are preserved, as you can see marked in the blue here. Following that, I'd like to talk to you about our undercut tool, which allows you to detect your undercuts after you set your path of insertion. As you can see, they're highlighted here. Personal favorite of mine is the margin line creation. You can start by selecting the tooth that you prepped. We're going to assume that this central right here is a prepped tooth. Then you adjust your path of insertion. So that the path of insertion, you're going to see your crown. And then you start by adding points manually. Okay, I'm sorry, glitch happened here. Let's go back to the margin video. Yes, okay. So as I was saying, you select your tooth. Okay, we're going to assume that this is a prep tooth. And then you adjust your path of insertion according to the path that you're going to see your restoration. And then you start by adding points, tracing your finish line basically by adding points. You'll notice that this is the same technique that is used by most designing software and allows for easier communication with the lab. Of course, after you finish, you can always drag your points and rearrange them. You can delete a point using the right click, and you can add points using the left click. Next up, we're going to talk about our occlusal analysis feature. This feature is powered by AI. It allows you to analyze the patient's occlusion. You'll see that areas with light contact are highlighted in green, and areas with heavy contact are highlighted in red. Now, after this, we're going to follow up with the shining feature. The most common question that people have when purchasing a scanner: how about scanning implants? Will it work with scanning implants? Well, our scanner has a shining feature that, combined with our AI, allows you to scan very shiny objects. Like you can see here in this video, these scan bodies are very shiny, but you're able to scan them with ease. After this, we go to our digital cloud. So when you're done with your case, how do you send your case to the lab? You have two options. You can either save it to your local drive system and then share it with your lab, or you can upload it to your cloud, and that'll automatically take you to our dental digital cloud platform. From there, you can create a link and share it with your lab. Of course, our software supports exports of STL and PLY files, which are the two most common file types used. Here, we're going to watch a quick demo of our S200 in action. As you can see, we like to start with the occlusal of the posterior teeth because this acts as a reference point. And then we work our way through the buccal and the palatal. You can see it's getting all the data. And then you press the white button and you switch to the lower arch. Like we said before, we start with the occlusal, and then we work our way through the buccal and the palatal. Once you're done with your scan, you check your scan, you make sure everything is good. Then we're gonna switch to the bite. You notice we take a lot of buccal data because that helps with the bite. Sorry, we're just gonna get back to that. Fast forwarding to the bite. Okay, perfect. You can see here that using our AI, you can detect the bite very easily. It only takes a few seconds, and then you switch to the other side, and then you take the following bite. Perfect. Now we're going to go back to Dr. Yasser, and he's going to walk you through our guided surgery software.
Thank you, Dr. Adel, for this informative features that you shared with us. And now that we done with the intraoral scanning, demonstrating its features, let's go ahead and introduce our Atomica Guided Surgery Suite application and take you through full step from start to finish, introducing our implant planner and the guide design software. So let's jump to our demo right here. Okay, so after you import your case, let's play that video. So after we import your case, our software, first of all, supports single DICOM file and multi-DICOM file. And we have here as an example is a multi-DICOM file scan. So you can select any of the slices and the software will recognize the rest of them and create a 3D model out of the CBCT scan. On the right-hand side is the information that comes along with the scan data. And you can see always the software can detect whether the acquisition date it expired over 6 months or not. And on the left-hand side is the information that you can fill for the patient. And the very first step that you need to do is to browse and create like a initial file or a project file where your plan will be saved on that file later on. And it's saved under our format, which is called Atom. So now that we save that, and to make sure it's saved, we're going to click on adjust.com to save the file and move forward to the next step to adjust our DICOM. So right here, you have 3 different aspects that you can utilize to make sure that the scan is in the perfect orientation. So in case the scan is not in the perfect orientation, you can adjust all these aspects to make sure it's perfectly placed. You can also crop out any unwanted scans. For example, if you're only interested to work on the upper arch or the lower arch, you can crop it out. So let's go ahead and start planning. So now that we need to figure out which tooth that we're going to replace, what we have here is a lower first molar. So we're going to go ahead and label that on the chart on the left-hand side. As you can see, once I selected that, it activated the mandibular curve down there. So it can automatically generate the panoramic curve for you. So once I click on that, the panoramic curve got generated automatically. So as you can see here, there's no any kind of manipulation that you need to do. But in case you wanted to, you can delete a dot by right click and also adding a dot by left click, where you can delete the whole curve and draw your own manual curve by yourself. Moving forward to the next step, which is importing the model or the denture. So you can also import a model. You can also import a denture in case you wanted to follow the dual scan protocol, and the software will automatically turn that into an STL file and will automatically match it to the scan. So let's go ahead and import a model for our tooth supported plan. So we're going to go ahead and select the lower scan jaw. And I love to say that our software supports STL, OBG, and PLY, which is all the kinds of 3D formats. So once you load the model right here, the software gives you like a quick preview to make sure that you're selecting the right STL file. And once you load it, it automatically performs model matching using the power of artificial intelligence to make sure it falls into place immediately. And if we checked the 2D sections down here, you'll see how accurate it can be. So as I'm moving through the cuts right here, through different sections, it's pretty accurate, isn't it? But of course, this depending on the clarity of the scan. So in case you wanted to do manual adjustments and the match is not perfectly done from the very beginning, you can use the conventional way to rematch your model with your scan, of course, using the corresponding points on each and every view. There's another feature that I love to highlight as well, that in case it did not actually match pretty well, you can use the optimized fitting, which also utilizes the AI feature to make sure it matches perfectly. So let's go ahead and import the upper model, which is the antagonist, in case you wanted to check the occlusal relationship for your plan. So once you load it, you can label that as an antagonist for the software to recognize that and to relatively match that to the lower model right here. Of course, maintaining the XYZ axis of the model right here. As you can see, this is the occlusal relationship or the byte registered prior to adding it to our software. So let's jump to the planning phase. So the planning phase where you can add the tools, where implant and virtual crown. So you can add the virtual crown, add an implant, add fixation pins, trace the nerve, do your own measurements, add annotations, and as well, there's other features like making parallel implants together for 2 or more implants, and also you can measure the angulation between 2 implants or more. So let's go ahead and start by tracing the nerve. It's going to be traced manually, so I'm not going to show you the whole process of tracing the nerve, but for me, I'd love to start off by utilizing the panoramic view and look for the mental foramen and go all the way back to the area of interest and check it back in the cross-sectional view down here. But in case you wanted to adjust the diameter of the nerve, as you can see right here, you can go to the left-hand side where you can see the card of the nerve and adjust the diameter right away. So now that we added our nerve, we're going to go ahead and go through the other tools. But before we go there, I'd love to show you our library. We have a pretty bunch of implant systems and companies that actually integrated in our software. And I'm pretty sure you're going to find your favorite implant system. And in case you did not find that, you can reach out to us. We'll be able to integrate that in our software. You can also do your own, add your own logo in case you wanted to personalize that and change the numbering system in case you use FDI or universal. So let's add a virtual crown. So the software here, once you select the area of interest or the tooth that you wanted to add your wax up, you can that software will totally use an automation by positioning the virtual tooth in place from the first attempt. Of course, also using the automation right here. So if you checked the positioning of the tooth initially, it placed it in a very beautiful initial position. Let me hide the upper model so you can see that. But of course, you always need to minimally refine and make sure, because you can't 100% depend on the automation right here. So I'm doing my minimal refinements to make sure it's following the occlusal table right here. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to add the implant. So I can check that box up here to assign an implant to a tooth to give me like an initial position and automation to that. So right here, I downloaded BiHorizons. This is the family under BiHorizons. I looked for Taper Pro, selecting the right dimension, which is the right and length. So right here, I'm looking for 4.6/9 as I'm trying to restore a molar area. And once I selected the area of interest, you can see the implant have initially a very good initial position right here, as you can see. But of course, as I mentioned, you always need to make sure it's in place. you can utilize that window as it has a feature up here that I love to use myself. Some people call it 360, but we call it here centric view, that puts your implant into a central position where you can go all around the implant. So right here, I'm utilizing the buccal lingual view to make sure it's in place, making it emerging from the central groove. And also here, utilizing the mesiodistal view and following the bone anatomy right here. You see that green outline? So if that green outline comes in contact with the nerve right here, it will turn red. That means that you're in a dangerous position right here that you need to change or reposition. Okay, right now I'm repositioning, doing a little bit of refinements, make sure it's in the correct place right here. Once I'm done, you can add your abutment. So we offer vendor abutment that you can use. So if we went through the vendor abutment, you can select whether a straight multi-unit abutment with your own collar heights. You can utilize and add 17 angled abutment, 30-degree angled abutment, and also scan bodies in case you want to. In case you want to do your own dimensions, you can add the generic abutment and place your own angulated abutment and type in your own preference. So jumping on to the next step, which is sleeving part. So the very first option that pops up here when you select your sleeve, it offers the very first with the compatible drilling kit that you select according to the implant system. So once you select that, in case you wanted to change that, it gives you a vendor recommended, but you can change the sleeve according to your preference here if you select a generic and save as a template. So you won't go back and forth trying to add the dimensions each and every time you add a generic sleeve. So right here, I'm going back to select vendor recommended and applying the sleeve right away. So this is the initial position of the offset. So I'm going to adjust the offset right here until it shows here IPC, which means implant placement control, offering 18.5 length in drilling, which is offered by the BioHorizons Pro Guided Surgery Kit. So I'm saving that, and I'm going to show you a quick view of our report. So this is an overview of the case right here. So it shows you first the diagnostic overview, which is the panoramic view where you can add notes. And second is the 3D views of the CBCT scan. And you can see the implant inside of it. And you can also add notes in each and every page. Third here is the planned products, where implants and abutments and implant sleeves with all the dimensions mentioned in the report right here. And there's also a 2D cuts of the position of the implants that's automatically generated when you generate your own report. And last but not least, and my favorite, is a drilling protocol right here, generated according to your implant system that you've selected. So this is the right drilling protocol that you might follow to do the right osteotomy to your own case. You can export that into PDF if you want to share it with a colleague or with a lab, to whomever you want. So I'm saving that into PDF file format. So now that we're briefly done with the implant planner, so let's design a guide for this case. So you can use the shortcut icon right here to automatically launch the guide design software, closing it from the implant planner and going to Atomica Guide Design for a seamless transition. As you can see here, this is the guide design software. Very simple to use that, but let's create a base for this case before we generate the guide. So it's very simple. We're going to start up by removing the shells until there is only one hole right down here, simply by one click, and you can create a base and a hollow one right here, activating the hollow model. Once you apply that, with only a single click, the model with the base will be created and a hollowed one to save material for your own 3D printing. As you can see right here, this is the model with the base created. Very simple step. So let's go ahead and generate our guide. So simply by clicking on Start, you can use the brush right here to highlight where you want your guide to be seated, but we actually added a feature exclusively very recently that we just added, that you can utilize the icon right here that when hover over it shows guide. Once you select that, the software will undergo tooth segmentation. As you can see, it's loading right on the bottom right corner. Once it's model segmented, when you hover over the tooth right here, you can see it's totally segmented. You can do different actions with that. You can label the first and the last tooth for the guide, and you can also do virtual extraction to your own model. So right now I'm selecting the first tooth and the last tooth. As you can see right here, it generated the area in which the guide will be covering this area. But as you can see, as I mentioned, don't 100% relying AI. So right now I'm going to use the brush to fill in the gaps right here to make sure everything is highlighted perfectly. So this is new to Dr. Zhang as well. We did not demonstrate this because it's really fresh. I'm doing a little refinements right here. Make sure every area is highlighted in the correct manner. Filling the gap. Okay, on the left-hand side, you can see that the guide tab where you can change right here. This is the guide type right here that you can change from teeth or bone or mucosa guided. And you can see that the parameters, the thickness of the guide, the clearance around the edit material, the teeth offset and the sleeve offset, it's preset in default settings, and you can change it according to your 3D printer. Last but not least is the undercut. You can place an automatic undercut where the software will detect and block out the undercuts for you. And if you place it in manual undercut, you can change the side of view to block out the undercut according to your preference. So now that we're done, we clicked on generate. Two things will come up with you: a model with a blocked out undercut and a guide on top of that. So let's see the results together and how efficient that can be. As you can see right here, let me hide the model underneath so you can see that pretty clearly. So there's more action that you can do to the guide in case you want to do inspection windows, which I'm going to demonstrate right now. So simply by tapping on the guide, the tools will get activated and will light up on the left-hand side. As you can see right here, I'm showing around the guide. So let's go ahead and do the inspection window. I'm going to utilize the cropping tool right here using the polygonal lasso and just connecting the dots at the area where I want the window to be made. So then I'm going to click apply, make sure crop and fill is checked. As you can see, as simple as that, how pretty easy you can do your own adjustments to your own guide. Of course, if you want to export that into an STL file, simply by right-clicking on the guide teeth and export that into an STL file. But I'll go back and show you like a bunch of features as well that you can apply to your guide. So you can actually personalize your guide, for example, by labeling your guide. Right here, I'm gonna just go like a quick tour on the tools on the left-hand side. So right here, you can do the labeling. Right here, you can do the coloring as I showed you before. There's a Boolean operation that you can actually do as well. And there's primitive shapes that you can add where you can do any kind of adjustment to your own guide. So Boolean operations, to get activated, you need to select 2 or more objects. For example, I'm going to show you by selecting the model underneath and the guide for the Boolean operations to light up right here. So this is pretty much our demonstration of our Atomica software suite. And now that we're done with demonstrating our products, we would love to announce our next big thing, which is the stackable guide module. Now you can seamlessly generate your own stackable guide within 3 minutes by framing the horizontal and the distal plane, and the stackable module will do the work for you by generating the foundation guide and the osteotomy guide simultaneously. Stay tuned to learn more about it. So I'm gonna leave the video for a quick preview to have an idea how that works. We're gonna talk about more later. So we use that platform to only announce it exclusively for that webinar. Simple as that. Okay, so here's a special moment to share. We have a very special offer to announce to those who stayed with us so far. And the offer is we offer a 60-day free trial and unlimited exports using our Atomica software suite. And don't forget to scan the barcode. I'm going to leave you here for 5 seconds or 10 seconds in case you wanted to scan the barcodes. But we're not done yet. So we have Dr. Adil to do the big announcement again, his offer, please.
Thank you, Dr. Yasser. This was very informative. Well, exclusively for NDPO, we're also offering a 45% discount on our fast and reliable S200. Okay, you can use the promo code written NDPO, or you can also scan the QR code. So hurry up, you don't want to miss on this special promotion.
Very amazing offer. I really love it myself.
Thank you, Dr. Yasser. You're expected to love it. Okay, so now we're going to the Q&A part. I see a few questions here. We're gonna start by addressing them.
So can we go ahead and answer the questions, Dr. Zhang, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Go to the chat. I think you can
Yes.
from in the beginning.
Okay,
After
that's
Kevin.
great.
Okay, so the first
Okay.
question.
Yes, from Dr. Andy. Okay, so how does
Yeah.
the AI integrated feature improve the scanning experience? Well, as you all know, our scanner is powered by AI. This basically helps you with a lot of things. First, it helps you with occlusion. You get to align your occlusion a lot quicker, and it recognizes occlusal context a lot easier due to the AI. So you take your bite scan in less than a few seconds, like I showed you. The second thing it helps with is, of course, improved metal scanning. Okay, so you can scan your implants easily. And the last thing it does is when you're scanning and you get disconnected or you lose your focus, when you go back to your reference point, it picks up a lot quicker than regular scanners. Okay, hope that answers your question. The next question, you offer training session after your purchase. Yes, after your purchase, you get a one-to-one training session with one of our specialized experts. And after that, we're just with you for the entire journey of your digital experience. Okay. Let me see if there's any more scanner questions before we get back to you, Dr. Yasser. Okay, so yes. Okay, does your scanner software include features for crown and implant workflows? Yes, it does. You get to choose kind of restoration that you're going to work. If you're going to work a crown, you choose it. If you're going to work an implant, you choose it. And accordingly, the software will open different features for you. Are there any? Okay. Okay, so this is not for me. I think the scanner.
Okay, I think I have
Yeah, back to you, Dr. Yasser.
I think there's a couple of questions right here. So Dr. Dave asked, okay, so how much is the annual fees for the software planner? So the software planner is actually for free. But if you're asking about the pricing of the exporting of the guide designs, you can actually the pricing model is more like the Blue Sky Bio. So the pricing is going to be declared very soon. So $10 per case actually per guide. So there's no annual fees yet. And I think that pretty much answered the question. And can I align my scan manually in your software? Yes, you can do that. You can actually, where you tap on the model card on the left-hand side, if you can recall that, and you can start by moving the model freely. I want to check if there's any other question. Can I add another? Yes, Dr. Andy, can I add another implant than the library? Yes, you can. If there's, you can actually send us the implant library that you're looking for, and we will try as much as possible to reach out to the implant company and start emailing them to make sure they integrate their system with our software. And we did that with a bunch of implant companies. And yes, we can. I think we're done with the questions right here.
I think I just missed a couple. So to get to those quickly, are there annual costs for the software or the scan? Our software is completely free. You do not pay an initial fee and you do not pay any annual cost on it. It's completely free. And the last question is it an open platform or closed like the iTero? Well, no, our software is an open platform. You can import scans from any scanner and you can export your scans to any design software. So it's an open software from both ends.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Yes, Dr. Sharon is asking if you have a hyoscine implant in your. Yes, we do. Okay. Any other questions?
No, Dr. Yasha. Basically, your software is free, and after 6 months, when we sign a thing, is for the surgical guide. One
Yes.
export is $10. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. So, but we're actually declaring the prices by the end of the quarter, which is going to end in days. So that's why we're offering a 60-day free trial. And yes, once we declare the prices, you'll know more about the pricing list. And yeah, the actually the pricing model will be as much as Blue Sky Bio.
Okay.
Okay.
Got you.
Yes, there's another question right here. So when does the segmentation module start working? Actually, this segmentation module is working and it's available. We just wanted to show you the whole workflow from the planning to guide design, and you can download it and work with it right away. Any other question?
Yes, here. Do you have a hyoscine implant in your library?
Yes, I answered that, and yes, we do. We do.
Another question is, when does the segmentation module start working?
It's actually working. I answered that question. Yes, it's working, and you can download the segmentation module and utilize it right away. And you can book a session further in case you wanted to learn more about the segmentation module. Okay, and we're going to share the important links after that slide. So is there any other question?
Okay, the last thing I wanted to answer, I see Dr. Dave asks about how much the scanner costs. Okay, so the scanner costs $10,000, but exclusively the offer for NDPO is a 45% discount. So it's going to be $5,500 using your code. Okay, I hope that answers that. Yes, and if anyone has any follow-up questions, if anyone wants further explanation, you can always book a session from our website, walk you through software again, walk you through the scanner again. We're always there.
In case you wanted more detailed session.
You basically, so for the S200 scanner, the everything together includes software, right? How much is it? 55, right?
5,500, doctor, yes. The scanner and the scanner software, yes.
Okay, that's good. I think the S200 is the most affordable scanner on the market in US. Is that right? Any doctor know about lower than this one?
Well, because of the offer, yes, it will be very affordable for your users. So that's why we're encouraging to seize this opportunity while it lasts.
Yeah, I thank you so much for this
yes,
offer.
Of course,
to
doctor.
our
No, we
NDPO.
thank you. We thank you for putting this together. Yes.
I think we have another question for the scanner, Dr. Adel, right here. So it says, do you have a manual and is it in English?
So we have a series of videos and they're all in English. I'm not sure what you mean by a manual, but we have a lot of educational videos on our YouTube channel. You can always check those and they're all in English, yes.
And I'd love to add that we have a dedicated team in case you wanted to learn more and have your training sessions.
Yeah, I think this scanner is great. If you don't, I think if you, for our doctor, if you don't have the scanner, this should be your first scanner because it's foldable and have AI feature. And if you already have the scanner, you can have a second scanner like this. I have 3 scanner in my office.
You can always do with the fourth. You can never have enough scanners.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
you're absolutely right, doctor. So we present our scanner as an everyday scanner. Like I said, it's very light. It's very affordable, like you just said. And it's just for your everyday cases, you know? So like you just said, if someone is getting to know digital dentistry, it's their first scanner. it's great for them to take a step into that. And if someone already has like an iTero and they're using them for their ortho cases, this is a good scanner to have in your other operating room to scan your everyday cases. It's light, it's compact, it's very accurate, it gets the job done.
Yeah, I like the feature, you have the plug directly connect to the scanner. So that means you can bring this scanner easily from the other room to another room, right?
Exactly,
Because
exactly.
before for the other scanner, except the 3-chip, the portable, otherwise you have to bring all the cable with you and to do that. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. No, it's just a USB, a light USB cable. You take your scanner, you take your USB cable, and then you just move from room to room. It's very easy. It's a plug and play scanner.
Yes, I think we have another question regarding the scanner array from Dr. Lang Wang.
Okay, let me check that. Oh, so will the scanner work for areas without teeth? Yes, the scanner will work for areas without teeth. As a general rule, it's not the easiest thing to scan fully edentulous patients with intraoral scanners. Like all scanners suffer with that. But like I always like to say, it's a learning curve. If you start gradually and then work your way up to fully edentulous cases, the scanner is fully capable of scanning these cases, partially and fully edentulous. Do we have any more questions? Okay, so Dr. Zhang, do you have any more questions? Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, if we don't have any question.
Okay.
Okay,
So
and
I'd love to
go
share
ahead.
some important links in case you wanted to reach out to our website. So here are some important links in case you wanted to learn more about our products. You can visit the Atomica software suite link to download the software through our website, which is atomica.ai/software. And for the Atomica S200 link, to learn more about it, you can go through our website, which is s200.atomica.ai. And lastly, I want to thank you all for attending this webinar and looking forward to see all of you again soon. Thank you, Dr. Zhang. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yasser. Thank you, Dr. Adele.
Thank you,
so
Dr.
much.
Zhang, very much. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
okay.
We're waiting for you to order your fourth scanner.
Yeah, we are our secretary Xinmei will be coordinated with our doctor, and we hope we can put the order next week sometime. Okay. Also,
Great.
Our doctor, if you're interested in this scanner, you can connect Xinmei to how to you can order through your website, right?
Yes.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
Okay, and also our NDPO gave some. I think Xinmei told me we have the member drive here.
I just posted the flyer. I added last thing that to help this group purchase for each of you, if you're currently NDPO member, your membership will be extended 12 months. And if you're not a member, you'll get a 1 year free premium membership. That's we wanted to add.
Okay, yeah. After you buy this scanner, just let us know. We give you the free membership for a year. That's good.
Yes, exactly. And like you said, Doctor, your members can reach us directly through our website, or they can reach you, and then we'll pull them through. We'll get in touch.
Okay.
Through you.
Okay. Okay, have a good Friday. Thank you, Dr. Yasser. Thank you, Adele. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Zhang. Thank you for having us.
Thank
you, Dr. Kevin.
Yeah, keep in touch.
Thank you for everyone who attended. Yeah, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. You too.